I'm so British, I just made me tea, yeah. I'm going to play some games in me Chieftain Mark III. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we have some huge news for the British tankers out there. Today, it has been announced that the Challenger 1 will be in next patch. And this is a huge meta change to the British. This main battle tank actually gets over 35 kilometers an hour on level ground. I will demonstrate this for you guys now, starting off with the, let's just say, Centurion Mark 10. So hopefully now, once this is added, you'll be able to get to some competitive early game positions, roughly when, well, you'll be a little bit later than the KPZ MBTs, but roughly when the T-64 shows up. Now, on level ground, I expect the Challenger to go about maybe 42, 41 kilometers an hour. We'll just have to see these new or these next generation engines in these modern-ish tanks are much more powerful and can maintain speed over ground, unlike the predecessors. But today we're going to be talking about the Challenger. I might say Chieftain, so if I do, I apologize. We're going to be touching on, or most of this video will be on the Challenger. We're going to touch on the new Leo tank and the new Russian jet with 3 37 millimeters. Those will be touched on just briefly. This is the one that I want to talk about the most today. So we're just going to talk about the depth server and then try to investigate how War Thunder is going to get the armor values of the Challenger 1, because I believe the armor values are still classified on this, but as we all know, War Thunder has secret documents, comrade, that might be able to tell a different tale. But okay, so this tank was introduced into service in 1983. The Abrams is coming, guys. If this tank is added, the Abrams is going to be coming. And to all those 5 people who doubted me that the Abrams was coming, I told you so. So the Challenger 1 was one of the most advanced and well-protected tanks fielded by Western armies during the second half of the 20th century. It goes on to say that with its Chobham, but I believe the British pronounce it Chobham, composite armor that the British developed in the 60s, the Challenger 1 will be one of the most well-protected MBTs at War Thunder's highest rank. It will be even a tougher nut to crack than its predecessor, the Chieftain Mark 10. So I'm just gonna go out on a whim here and say this is gonna be one of the best hold-down snipers in the game. With the ability to have a little bit of gun depression and a turret that might not be able to be penetrated at long range, because you got to think about it. The predecessor, the Chieftain Mark 10, has the strongest turret in the game, which tops off with its Steel Brew armor package, 450 protection or millimeter protection against kinetic and 500 millimeters from chemical rounds. So worst case scenario, this Challenger is going to have maybe 500, 550 on kinetic and 650 on chemical. It's going to be interesting to wait and see what the values are, but yeah, it's going to be one of the best hold down snipers in the game. Oh, and there we go, a little confirmation. Engaging a well-positioned Challenger 1, which I would bet means hold down from the front, is a deadly mistake and guaranteed to put you on the wrong end of its 120 millimeter rifled L11 cannon. Okay, so this is going to have the same cannon as its predecessor, the Chieftain Mark 10, but will it get a better round? Because compared to the Chieftain Mark 5, the Chieftain Mark 10 has the L23 shot, which is the APFSDS, that has about 10 millimeters more penetration. I wonder if this Challenger will get its Jericho shot or its L26 shot, which is its depleted uranium APFSDS. I don't want to think of the penetration value of that, but it could happen. You know, we're gonna need a stronger penetrator with all this armor these modern MBTs are getting. And finally, a breath of fresh air for high-tier British tanks. The Challenger 1 has better mobility and handling than the Chieftain, with speeds up to 56 kilometers an hour, courtesy of its Rolls-Royce 1200 horsepower engine. And if we kind of compare the top-tier British tank now, the Chieftain Mark 10 still brew package, that tank weighs 57.2 tons. The Challenger weighs 62 tons. So with the Challenger only weighing 4.8 tons more, it has 450 horsepower more as well. This thing's gonna get around the map nicely. I would love to talk more about the Challenger, more specifically the armor values of this main battle tank, but as stated before, the armor values are classified. So it's going to be interesting to see how War Thunder will do it and what armor values we will have on this tank in the game. But bottom line is that I can hear all the British tankers furiously sipping tea. So hats off, you guys should be excited. I'm excited for it. Let's go ahead and touch on the other two vehicles that have been announced. If you guys ever wanted to look at a tank on steroids, look no further. This is the Leopard 2K. This is what was developed from the failure of the KPZ MBT project. And yeah, this thing's on horse steroids. It's on Leopard steroids. So it's probably gonna play like a Leo, but much better. You're gonna have a huge engine, a 1500 horsepower engine moving around 50 tons. And if that's not the selling point, you have a 20 millimeter secondary that was used on the KPZ MBT. And if that's not the selling point, you might have one of the most powerfulest gun in the game. This is the Rheinmetall 120 millimeter smooth bore cannon that is used on the M1 Abrams. We're there, boys. And the dev blog was written in a way where it really kind of punches home how powerful this cannon is. Even if the Leopard 2K's armor makes you feel a little less protected, it's not going to have that much armor, but the dev blog states that the 2K relies on complex combinations of multi-layered, high-sloped, and relatively thin steel armor plating. Its mobility definitely makes up the difference. Enemies can't hit what they can't see, and the Leopard 2K speed and mobility makes it virtually can't see, and the Leopard's 2K speed and mobility makes it a virtual ghost on the battlefield. By the time you see it and hear it, the thunder of its 120 millimeter gun, you're probably already dead. So those words to me makes it sound like this is going to be a highly enjoyable tank. And just to get a strong feeling of how fast and mobile this tank will be on the battlefield, its top speed is only 70 kilometers an hour, which doesn't seem that much faster than the Leopard, the A1A1, we'll use that one, which is 65 kilometers an hour top speed. But with only weighing about 8 tons more, the Leopard 2K has almost 100%, let's just say almost 90% increase in engine power. So you're going to be able to hit those top marks or into those 60, 65 kilometers an hour much easier than the Leopard A1A1. And a little bonus, you'll be able to go faster than it downhill. And last but not least, the LA-200 has been confirmed for War Thunder, a dual-seat Russian jet fighter with only one prototype being built. Speed comparability, it fits between a MiG-15 and MiG-15 bis, with the LA-200 topping off at 1070 kilometers an hour. Two things to note: not the best climb rate, only 27 meters a second compared to the MiG-15's bis, 50 meters a second. But a positive note to end on: this thing is armed with 3 NS 37 millimeter cannons. Now, these are different from the MiG-15 to the MiG-17s and the MiG-15 bis, because the ones on those are the N37D, and those only travel at 610 meters a second. These NS-37s travel at 900 meters a second, which are much easier to aim, and we already have them in game, and they're mostly armed on the Yak-9T IL-2 37mm, so it's going to be very easy to aim these at long range against bombers. Guys, hope you have enjoyed today's video. Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow for the FlyDay stream. Be there or I'll cry. Again, guys, hope you have enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace out.